Today, Corey Lewandowski, or Lewandowski, I'm sorry in advance for mispronouncing his name, made his first appearance on CNN after being fired as Trump's campaign manager 3 days ago. It feels kind of just strange to say that, only because the time span is very, very short. Now, there have been different comments and concerns about what his role on CNN will be as far as Trump is concerned. So the context is that when he was working for the Trump campaign, he signed an agreement which basically, I don't want to say limited his freedom of speech, but he couldn't criticize Trump publicly, which I guess, yeah, it did limit his freedom of speech. It was a non-disparagement requirement or something to that effect. He can't speak negatively about him in public, but like all of us, he can do it behind closed doors where no one's watching. Um, and obviously, that right there should show you there's a problem with that signing, and it's rooted in the fact that freedom of speech is something that shouldn't be taken away. Now, people will go on videos on here and they'll disagree with someone. They'll say, I think this is ridiculous. And then they'll say, I think you are ridiculous. I think you are a loser. I think you are an idiot. They'll use these different negative terms towards you as the creator of the property or the person who's giving their opinion, making their content, whatever. And no one gets them. Why? Because it's freedom of speech. And they have the right to do that, unfortunately, even though it might hurt your feelings. And sometimes it does. For some of us, not all of us. So that to me just seems as if it's basically confirming what I always thought of Trump, which was that he was someone who, I don't want to say couldn't take an insult or criticism, but certainly is a little short-tempered when it comes to people speaking in a way that's not overtly positive towards him. I think that confirms that. I've never heard of any other candidate doing that ever. I know I'm using that a lot. I'm trying to be redundant and at the same time effective in conveying my message by using repetition. I don't know if it's working or not. I'm trying to figure out what else to add to this because it took me by complete surprise. It was really the story of the day for me because it just came out of nowhere. Usually we hear reports about this person is doing this person is doing that, this person is going to join this show coming Tuesday, coming next week, coming next month. And there was none of that in preparation for this. Now, one other thing to point out is that I think this is completely original. We've had people leave campaigns before, but I don't think ever have we had someone who was the campaign manager leave and then go on to a station where it's not like Fox where the criticism is a little bit less covered. And, CNN tries to cater to Republicans and just conservatives as well. But even then, it still appears to me that this is new, and this has been a new election cycle. I was speaking to someone yesterday. We were talking about something we had never seen before, and he spoke of how original it was, and he was correct. This is definitely a first for this field, and I honestly can't even predict how Lewandowski plays a role in this further. I really thought Monday was at least the end of him in regards to politics. He can go back to his private life and be successful and be the cool guy that he is. The Trump campaign manager, former ex-Trump campaign manager. And even regardless of, and especially if Trump lost, he could brag about, oh, they wouldn't have gotten rid of me. Could have turned out a different way. He could have been able to do that so effectively and so just convincingly, which I guess you could say those are synonymous. But you get the point. He could have done those two things in the upcoming months. So after November, he could just brag about, I was Trump's guy. I was his right hand man. But instead, he just decides to get back into the game this quickly, and it's so just it's not surprising in the way we go, wow, like whoa, kind of just too soon almost. But at the very least, I hope for Trump's sake that he doesn't disobey his agreement, because if he does, it's not gonna be a pretty picture. Part of the problem with those campaigns and people after they leave is they remember, they recall. Now there was a book that came out a while ago talking bad about Clinton. I think it was someone who, I'm not talking about this year, year before last. It was a while ago. It was regarding her first run for president, and it certainly framed her in a light that wasn't exactly positive. But it's just that whole thing of people know and they will speak, and Trump's setting himself up for that. If Lewandowski, feels bitter over being fired. So thank you for watching and have a good day.